Biology, Class 6. Students, I hope all of you are keeping well. Now let us start with Chapter 3. It concerns cells, its structure and functions. All living organisms are made up of cells. As all of us know, that organisms can be small or it can be big in size. But every living object starts its life with a single cell. Gradually, as the cell divides, the organism grows in size. So we can say that the cell is the basic unit of life. Just as a brick is the unit of a construction, like that, the cell is the basic unit of all living organisms. How do we define a cell? It is the basic structural and functional unit of all living things. The scientist who first observed it was Anton von Leeuwenhoek. He developed a simple microscope having a single biconvex lens. With this, he saw the blood cells in the capillaries of the footweb of frog, but he did not name it. Later on, another scientist, Robert Hooke, he developed another microscope with two lenses and examined a very thin slice of a dead cork. It was he who termed the name cells. The branch of science where we study the cells is called cytology. Now, a cell is that which is living in nature, and it contains a jelly-like substance called protoplasm inside it. The protoplasm is made up of cytoplasm and the nucleus. Cells are of different types. Now there are organisms who have a single cell. We call them unicellular, and there are organisms which have many cells whom we call as multicellular. Now examples of unicellular organisms: amoeba, paramecium and chlamydomonas. Examples of multicellular organisms: you can consider any plant or any animal which are examples of this group, like the rose, the peepal, the neem and the human beings themselves. According to shape, the cells also vary. Spherical shaped cells, the red blood cells. How do they help an organism? They help in the easy flow of blood through the fine inner lumen of its capillaries. Oval, chlamydomonas. Cylindrical, spirogyra. Amoeboid, the single-celled amoeba. This is rather irregular in shape. The white blood cells of our body also are amoeboid in nature. Cubical or rectangular. The cells of the leaf are cubical or rectangular. They can be polygonal also, as well as elongated in nature. Slipper-shaped, paramecium. It is a single-celled organism which takes the shape of a slipper. Spindle-shaped. Example, the muscles in our body which are tapering at both the ends. According to size of the cells, they are also of different types. As for example, the largest cells are those of the ostrich eggs. The longest cells are those of the nerve cells, and the smallest cells are found among bacteria. Next we come to the cell theory. Three scientists, namely Schleiden, Schwann and Virchow, formulated the theory about cells. You have to go through all the points and learn them. Every living organism is made up of one or many cells. The cell is the structural and functional unit of all living organisms, and all cells arise from the pre-existing cells. Pre-existing means each cell has a mother cell from where it originates. Now we have said that the cell is the structural unit of life. Every part of the body of a living organism, be it a plant or an animal, is made up of cells. Cells may vary in their shape and size according to their functions, but their basic makeup is all the same. If we observe a tiny cell from the root of a plant or the stem or the leaf and a muscle or bone of an animal, we will see that the basic structure of the cell is all the same. Today you will read till here, and for your homework you will be doing the objective portions of chapter 1 and chapter 2 in your book with pencil. The choose the objective type, multiple choice, the match the following, the name the following, those that you can write in a few words with pencil, complete those in your textbooks. We will be solving the answers in our next study.